Welcome back to Farmer Wants a Wife, Season 4, Episode 7, the penultimate episode of Season 4. There are only 8 episodes in this one, guys, so let's get to it. This is the Meet the Parents episode, the one you've all been waiting for, I'm certain. So we're going to do this farm by farm, and the twist with this season is instead of the farmer going to meet the girl's parents in one episode, and then in another episode the girl's going to meet his parents, we're just going to make the parents meet in some crazy shitstorm of family dysfunction because, damn it, we don't have the budget for what we had last season. So let's start at Brett's farm, and he is down to 2 ladies, Hannah and Quinn. And he invites his friends, Spencer and Bo, over to meet the ladies because, for some mysterious reason, Brett's parents never show up. Is it because they don't like to be on camera? Maybe. Or is it because their son is a transient living in their hunting cabin without their permission? Perhaps so. You never know. So Spencer and Bo are a very funny pair. Brett refers to Bo, his totally platonic male friend, as a, quote, long, tall drink of water. Okay, and I have never, ever referred to any of my platonic friends that way. And Spencer looks like he is on the Quaaludes from The Wolf of Wall Street. So they're going to meet Quinn's sister and mom, and Quinn runs in slow motion across a field to meet her mom and sister, even though they just could have driven them up there. But I kind of love it. It reminds me like how two people like run in slow motion across a field like in the old movies to greet each other. I just want to say Tamara, Quinn's mom, is I think she's catching feelings for Brett, so if it doesn't work out between, you know, Brett and any of the other ladies here, I'm pretty sure Tamara could be waiting in the wings because, you know, Brett believes that age is only a number. Oh, I'm just kidding. He believes age is only a number when the man is older and the lady is younger, not when the lady is older and the man is younger. F me and those double standards, right? So you're going to see a trend in this episode, and in every Meet the Parents episode of Farmer Wants a Wife, where the mom, and especially the older sisters of the ladies, are very doubtful about the match, while the men just kind of give the farmers a free pass. Is this because the women themselves have been in toxic relationships with men and they're looking out for their daughters? Is it because the older sisters have not only experienced toxic relationships with men in their own lives, but watch that growing up with their siblings at the same time? Probably. So Hannah's mom and Bessie are very doubtful, and they don't really want, what their big concern is that they don't want Hannah to move from Idaho to Tennessee. And it looks like Brett is feeling that too. He seems to be leaning more towards Quinn, which makes me sad. I'm still rooting for Hannah because I want her and Brett to be a psychic X-Men power couple. Because as we know, both of them can read minds. So then, let's go to Braden's farm. He is down to Casey and Brittany. Casey's mom and dad show up, and Casey's dad is freaked out by all the corn in Illinois. Him and Lauren must be friends. They don't seem to know much about Illinois and what it's about. So, when they're driving through a cornfield, Casey's dad says, "Corn to the left of me, Huskers to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle with you." You know, like that Steelers Will song. So, then Casey's mom, when she's talking to Braden, she has like a quiz for him, to just asking him these random questions about Casey. Just 5 questions and he gets it right. And it always makes me think of like a trickster in one of those old European fairy tales, where if the protagonist, the male protagonist, solves the riddle, he gets to marry the princess without knowing anything really about her. It kind of makes me think of the fairy tale logic. Brittany meets up with Brayden's parents, and they cut right to the chase, asking the all-important question, when and how many babies are you going to pop out? And that's really weird because, like, the parents of all three farmers, they only ask the girls, like, about their families, their hobbies, their careers, only to the extent of, and how soon can you leave that all behind to marry my mediocre son and start having his mediocre babies? So, Brittany's sister and her husband, Jeff, more on him in a minute. Brittany's sister says Brayden ain't shit. Again, we see the older sister being very protective of the younger sister because she probably grew up in this environment with a toxic man and then experienced it in her own life. Jeff, Brittany's brother-in-law, I could watch this guy all damn day. So on Farmer Wants a Wife, during the Meet the Parents episodes, there's always a person, and they don't look like they've been clued into this whole game show dating thing. And Jeff looks really worried that they are being pulled into this polygamous death cult conspiracy, and he cannot wait to leave. He's just like, honey, let's leave Brittany. She's already lost to this polygamous death cult, and let's get out of here as quickly as possible. Later on, during the solo dates with his ladies, Brayden does this stupid, like, yawn thing that you see in the movies where he yawns and tries to put his arm around the lady's shoulder. And it's very funny and very dumb. And, of course, you're not watching Farmer Wants a Wife until someone has a date in the tailgate of a pickup truck and drinks something out of mason jars, okay? And again, like Brett going to the rodeo in the first episode and looking totally unhappy to be there. I'm sorry, the second episode. It just seems like these very, country cliches are just forced on these guys. Like, they don't really want to do it. It's just like, what do people in the country do? Have dates on the tailgates of trucks and drink things out of mason jars. As a person living in the country, it's pretty offensive. Also, Brayden kisses his two ladies behind his hat this time, and the camera crew does not foil him this time. He's like, haha, too sneaky for you guys. And finally, we come to Sean's farm. We meet his parents, and I would pay $1 million to see his parents, and especially his mom, like, leaning close to each of his two ladies, Emily and Carson, and be like, run as fast as you can. And the girls are like, what? She's like, get away. He's horrible. I should know. I raised him. But Sean's parents seem to be as apathetic and superficial as he is. So Sean meets Emily's parents. I don't really have anything to say about them except for her dad, and he's going to win a Style Icon Award in this episode. Spoiler. Anyway, Carson's parents, her dad tells Sean, like, screw her over and you're a dead man. And you think at first he is genuinely protective of his daughter. And then Sean's like, oh, I want. And so it's very much like the trust me bro philosophy. And Carson's dad like, oh, okay. And you see that a lot in this show where the fathers of the girls are they're just very performative and saying they're protective of their girls. But unlike the moms and the older sisters, like, all the farmers have to do is just tell them, like, trust me, bro. And the dads are like, oh, okay. So, Emily says to Sean's parents that she is feisty, and a lot like Brittany telling Brayden's parents that she's very independent, she loves her job. They don't like that. But what I am wondering is why none of the parents of these farmers bring it up to them, hey, why did you ditch the girl I specifically picked out for you? And it never comes up, even though in the horse race episode, Kimberly Williams Paisley tells them their parents picked Skylar, Sophia, and Rihanna out specifically for them, and the parents just never bring it up. At the end, during his solo date, Sean makes out with both Emily and Carson, and I'm thinking, how freaking tacky are you to like suck tongues with one girl and then hours later suck tongues with another? I'm sorry, y'all, it's just tacky coming from this greasy man. So before we wrap up our review of Farmer Wants a Wife with the next episode, which is the, thrilling conclusion, let's have a final Farmer Wants a Wife Style Icon Awards ceremony. So, honorable mentions, Emily's earrings. We've seen a lot of dangly earrings on the show, looking at you, Carson, but Emily's are the best. And with every nervous wobble of her head as she does the pick-me dance towards Sean and his parents, they just look more and more majestic. Then we have Janie, Emily's mom, in her fuzzy polar bear sweater that ties at the side. Again, I've seen a lot of this kind of sweater in the show, but Janie's rocking it the hardest. And finally, the Style Icon Award for Season 4, Episode 7 of Farmer Wants a Wife. Let's have a drum roll, please. It is a two-way tie between Emily's dad and Casey's dad with their button-down white shirt and blazer. They look like a Baptist preacher who has a younger congregation, and he's trying so very hard to relate to them. So he just looks in the mirror and he's like, lose the tie. That's the only effort I have to put in. Just lose the tie. So guys, this has been fun, and we will see you in the final episode of Farmer Wants a Wife Season 4, the thrilling conclusion. Thank you very much, and y'all have a great one.